Hello students, good evening. Welcome back to my YouTube channel. So today we are learning about the new chapter that is nothing but your control and coordination. Okay, so that is the chapter we are into it. Okay, so first I'll give you some scenarios. So you imagine there is a dog which is chasing you. Will you be standing there only? No, you will run it, right? In the same way, when you touch a hot object, so you will withdraw your hand suddenly. So how? Means, so for everything there are different organs which work in a synchronized manner in order to produce a proper response to stimuli. So that is what we call it as your coordination. Okay, so where the stimulus, in the first case the stimulus is a barking dog which is chasing, right? The second case it is the hot object which we call it as your stimulus. So in the first case you will run it, that is your response where your muscular thing is generally working, right? And even in the second scenario you are withdrawing your hand, even the muscular part or the organ is also working, but who is helping it to in order to grasp those things? It is your eyes, right? So not only eyes, even the ears which generally captures these sounds and all, right? So each and different parts or each and different organ work together in a synchronized manner in order to produce a proper response to the stimulus. Okay, so now who is generally helping that in order to create a response to the stimulus? Means it is your brain cell. Okay, the brain cell is what we call it as your neuron. So now we have to know what are all the parts are present in the neuron. So this is an important diagram. Okay, the neuron consists of a branch. You just imagine a tree, okay, where those canopy or the branches are what we call it as your dendrites. Okay, whatever the information which is received by the receptors will be reaching to the dendrites, and from there it reaches the cell body which contains a nucleus. So where the chemical signal gets converted into a electrical impulse. So those electrical impulse travel along a long tube or a rod-like structure which we call it as your axon. So axon is a part which carries the information away from the cell body, and dendrites is the one which carries the information towards your cell body or towards the cell body of the neuron. So now in order to maintain the leak proof, so that the information does not get leaked out, so there is a fatty tissue which we call it as your myelinated sheath. Okay, and at the tip of the axon again there is a branched thing which we call it as your nerve ending or a synaptic node. So synapse is a space where actually there is a information gets exchanged between the two neurons. So by the end, when the electrical impulse reaches the nerve ending, it gets converted into a chemical signal. Again the chemical signal of the dendrites of another neuron takes up that information and again it gets converted. So that is how the information is getting transferred, it is getting communicated between the neurons, and finally it creates a response. So now how these things will be creating a response, so that we will be learning in the reflex action. So what is meant by reflex action? So I hope you understood what is meant by neuron. So neuron is nothing but a brain cell. Okay, so it has got a different part. One is your nucleus, so surrounding that will be your cell body, and it has the branched part which is nothing but the dendrites carries the information towards the cell body, and there is a long rod which runs, which we call it as your axon, which carries the information or a signal away from the cell body. The tip of the axon, it is branched, and we call that to be a nerve endings where the exchange of the information takes place between the neurons. So I hope you understood about the structure of the neuron, and please do subscribe to my channel. Thank you.